Hello everyone, and thanks for tuning in to the third broadcast of Recovery TV. Today, we have a brilliant selection of videos submitted to us from across the Phoenix community. Here you can see the following schedule for today's broadcast. If you want to stay updated with Team Phoenix, please make sure to follow our social media channels.
First poem I wrote is for my care manager, who is somebody that's very special to me. So, my care manager, who has become my closest true friend, a permanent fixture in my journey, she will guide me to the very end. Brick by brick, she builds me up. Brick by brick, she also knocks me down. Good, bad or indifferent, she's the one who will answer my call. My care manager reaches out to break my fall. To recognise my worth, she sees the real me. To hear my value, it's priceless. The last Glasgow client to receive funding can sometimes carry a heavy burden. All she wants is for me to find me. I search and search, I'm looking, but as of yet, I just can't see. Don't look around, look within, go deep as you can. I'm simply an addict, a boy who strives to be a man.
This is my poem about what I'm going to do when the lockdown finishes. After lockdown. At the end of this lockdown, I'm taking myself into town to buy everything I want. I'm going to get my roots done, I'm going to go for a swim, I'm going to drink Greg's coffee and still avoid the gym. I'm going to flirt with a man and do all that I can to feel alive again. I'm going on the bus to Fife, where I have another life, for the weekend. Hug my mum, squeeze my Wayne, knowing it will kill the pain of missing them so much. I'll reconnect with my friends as this time of trial ends.
Second poem we wrote during Vicky's creative writing class is a poem basically regarding the current situation we're all living under, which is the coronavirus. The time will come when the corona hopefully will be no longer. Seconds passing to minutes, minutes turning to hours. Each day everyone is becoming stronger. Staying connected and remaining safe, installing spirituality and for some a little faith. We all long for human contact, some interaction, giving us that feeling of instant satisfaction. Stick to the guidelines and our rules. Our lives depend on it and our cooperation. Unity required to save a small nation. Our NHS, what can we say? Each night I bend in knees and give thanks and pray. Everyone has a part to play.
I wrote this one for my mum because I miss her during lockdown. Mum, you are a daft denim jumpsuit you wore in the 70s. Cool at the time, I bet you're glad there's no photos. That wee white ladder, your first wee car, buzzed us all over near and far. Every flower all year round, anything lovely that comes out the ground. You're a G&T with ice and a slice. You are mornings, very early, doing your readings in your quiet hour. You are green, every leaf there ever was or will be, a colour of fresh starts and rebirth. Your voice like wind chimes tinkles and is calm, guiding, advising when I've been a bam. I treasure you because you taught me to be a woman, but your biggest lesson was that we're all human.
Hi guys, welcome back to Shipley Park. I'm going to talk today about what we call upside down tomatoes. They do it quite a lot overseas, and it's really good when you've got no space, because I know a lot of us on the RTM projects at the minute and doing the Dig for Victory don't have a lot of growing space. Unlike Shipley Park, we've got quite a fair bit, but what I've been doing is a lot of sort of work in building contraptions that we could do some vertical growing, and I've got just one of those outside at the minute, and it's for upside down tomatoes, which I'm going to show you today. Okay, it shows the hair. Unfortunately no barber, that's why I'm growing a bit of a beard, so my head doesn't do that.
You
anyway,
look lovely.
Thank you, John. What we got is just normal pop bottle, 2 litre bottle. I've cut two holes, a larger hole at the top and a smaller hole at the other side, leaving the stronger centre part in place. You can probably see that. Make sure you remove the lid, don't need that, and discard for a moment. 1 tomato. This one here is a red pear. So quite small, nice tomatoes, very sweet. What I want to do is just remove it from its pot. Never try and drag it out of a pot, just squeeze the pot, make sure you're supporting the stem, don't drag at the stem. Now the next bit is to remove the soil from the roots. Now I've got a little tray here, just go very carefully so you don't snap all the root ball off. It's quite important we get rid of this because you've got to try and get it in the bottle. Now one thing that's going to help when we get to a certain point is a bit of water.
Is that a bucket of water?
That's a bucket of water. It's a bit fiddly, just getting main bits out, but keep going and they will come out. You should just be left with a little root ball, like so. Piece of denim from my old, or my best jeans. So I've got no jeans now.
That root ball is actually more tidy than your hair.
Thank you very much, John. It's not growing a beard. Simply get your bit of denim, dip it in a bit of water, and just above the root ball, just gently wrap it round. You don't want this super tight. Just nice and slack, wrap it round the stem. Now taking your bottle, we've got to try and feed the roots into it, into the neck. Now you might just have to manipulate this a little bit, it is a bit tricky. But again, not putting too much force on them, just trying to get it into the neck. And once we've got them in, slowly feed the denim in as well until it's just inside the bottle. Again, not putting too much force on the stem of the tomato. Now simply turn your bottle upside down and just support on your fingers, support your tomato. Now the larger hole comes into play here because now we need to fill this with compost. It takes a little bit of time and it's very messy.
Is the denim specific to any type of jean at all? Or?
No, any denim, probably well worn so it's not full of dye. There's no specific denim, it just stops the soil falling out the neck, really.
Not Pepe jeans if you're a 80s
No, you
throwback?
could do that, or Wrangler, or whatever they used to be. Anyway, so there's a little bit of filling up here. Now as you get so far down, about 3/4 there, or 2/3, just top a bit of water in. Now this is probably where your hands are going to get wet.
Is that a bottle of water?
That is just a bottle of normal water. It's not sparkling water. It came out the water butt this morning, so please don't drink it. And then once you just top your with compost again, simply really give it a good watering in. You'll see it all soaking around. Now it will start to fall through, as you can see it's now dripping down the plant itself. That's absolutely fine. Okay, so that's that bit, that's just getting it into the bottle. If I let go it's going to sit there because now it's trapped, the roots are all embedded in the soil. This is where it falls out when I look a pillock. Right, we're going to take this out to the frame I built out of an old pallet. You don't really have to worry whether the pallet's chemically treated for this because the plants are not actually sitting within the wood of the pallet. They're sitting in these bottles, which makes it safer. Something else to be aware of is the direct sunlight, because the roots in here will get a lot of sun and they'll heat up a lot, so your frames you can move around a little bit. Just be aware of how much sun they are getting because you don't want the roots to get damaged with heat. Okay, now we'll take them out to the contraption I've built out the pallet, but just one thing before we go, because it's very windy out there, so I don't want you to sort of miss what we're saying. Eventually these tomatoes will start to grow upright despite being hung upside down. So they're just called upside down tomatoes because they look like that originally. They will grow the right way up. You'll notice in the contraption I've got lots of different holes. Now they're for tying the tomato up as it grows. Okay, I've also got a bit of guttering on the top as well, which means you can put some strawberries in or some other plant just to utilise as much space as possible. Anyway, we'll take it out to the frame and we'll tie it up. Proper windy out here. So this is the frame we've got. It's an old large pallet and we've simply just dismantled it, drilled some holes all over the top. You'll see the bit of guttering at the top. And quite simply now, with a cable tie,
me. You can kiss my ass. Some say we're suited, me and you. Our love couldn't get much colder. You keep giving me the shoulder. A match made in heaven just for two. Smell that lingers. I'd happily give you the finger. Oh, so cruel, I'm feeling blue. I would cut you some slack, but I'd stab you in the back. What they said now always true. I'm the worst of all of them. The sounds around this fire ignite the gasoline. Your words hit harder than a mule can kick. Coming from you, babe, that's a little rich. Your looks could kill now, oh how I wish could have given you some rope, made to cook your favorite dish. You used to be so much fun. Now you're nothing but a drunken bum. Look who's talking, love is who. Those words right back. It's not my fault you're getting fat. My mom was so right about you. You're my carrot as well. I'll be seeing her in hell. I changed what I said. I oughta wish you dead. A match made in heaven just for two. You got me tongue tied and twisted, I'm the worst of everything. The sounds around this fire ignite the gasoline. Your words hit harder than a mule can kick. Coming from you, babe, that's a little rich. Your looks could kill now, oh how I wish could have given you some rope, babe, and cook your favorite dish. I'm sorry, babe, you know I don't mean it. Sometimes I'm just an idiot. You know I love you, dear and true. You're being way too nice. I don't like to be bitten twice. If I trust you, I'm a fool. I don't like the way that you grin. Your mouth smiles, but you're full of sin. A match made in heaven just for two. I don't care that we're older. This will never, never be over. Oh, so cruel, I'm feeling blue.
You are currently watching Recovery TV. If you want to stay updated with Team Phoenix, please make sure to follow our social media channels.
Hi, welcome to Phoenix Family Service. I'm Leanne and I'm the head of house here, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we do. So we're a residential service and we can have up to 12 families at any one time. We're really unique in the sense of we are the only service that provides what we provide in the whole of the country. We're very privileged. Not only do we have the opportunity to work with a lot of people that need our support, but equally we have the children that we are supporting, which is absolutely marvellous. So as you can see, I'm in the baby room and this is where we look after our children.
Hi, I'm Chloe. Our aim at Phoenix is to build relationships and form attachments. As Leanne said, this is our baby room, so take a look. In the baby room, we can have newborn children up to the age of 2. We then have a nursery provision for older children. Our nursery is Ofsted registered and we have also received a Healthy Early Years award. Our aim within this nursery is to provide a safe and secure environment, so when parents engage in therapeutic groups, they feel confident that their children are safe with us. To promote development, we do weekly observations on each child. We share these observations through parents' evening, formative assessments and weekly observations. We also conduct parent and child activities, such as making these craft mobiles, giving the parents a chance to learn about creative groups and give ideas of what they can do when they return home. We work with lots of external agencies, such as speech and language therapists, play therapists and bereavement counsellors, ensuring that your child has all the development they need whilst they are here. Our main aim here in the nursery is keeping families together and building strong attachments. Welcome to our older nursery. Our aim within this nursery is to prepare and support children, focusing on their next steps for their learning and development. To do this, we work very closely with schools and nurseries in our local area, encouraging children to reach their full potential. In the nursery, we offer lots of resources and activities. Please take a look. Thank you for taking the time to learn all about Phoenix Nursery and what we do here. Thank you very much. Bye!
Hi everyone! Do you want to go to the beach with Foxy? Here he is having a lie down. Hello Foxy! Shall we go for a walk? Walkies, Foxy! Walkies! Here he is. Let's go along the road. Can you spot the trees? Across the bridge. Look out for the speed bump. What else can you see? To the beach. Foxy loves exploring at the beach. What do you think he's looking for? What's he seen? A duck! Quack quack! Where are you going, Foxy? Where do you think Foxy's gone? There he is! Off he goes to explore. Can you see the buildings? And the wooden pier? What a brilliant place to explore! What else can you see? What else do you think Foxy saw at the beach? Shall we find out? Lots of pebbles and shells. Santa playing. A big stick. Look, a boat with an orange roof. Big rocks covered in moss. And some crashing waves. Can you hear them? What a lot to see! It's time to go home now. Shall we call Foxy? Foxy! Come on, Foxy. Time to go home. Good boy, Foxy. Let's walk back along the beach. Can you see the water? Down the road. Can you see the shadows? And through the front door. Did you have a nice walk, Foxy? What a busy day. What do you think Foxy is doing now? He's resting on the sofa. Bye-bye, Foxy. See you soon. Bye-bye, everyone.
So, I'm Dave Potts, I'm Head of Operations for Residential Services. I am going to cook a very quick, really tasty dish, a prawn chili linguine. So, keep watching. Linguine's in already, so that mixes as soon as it's ready. Best bet is to get that on. Get it on the boil and get it in rather than waiting. So to start, you need a nice good cut of butter in a big pan, a splash of olive oil, and get the heat on. You're on a medium to high heat just to get that melted down really. Pepper and salt. And then what you want is five, six garlic cloves, grated, chopped, whatever your preference really. Next, 4 red chilies. Put the tops off, slice them down the middle, and then just chop them into thin slices. A quick stir, wash your hands. Next, crushed chilies. Two teaspoons. And just look at your mix you've got, you might want to add, and that needs a little bit more butter. You can turn your heat down a bit now. And you want your lime. Cut in half, cut the other half into a quarter and save that for later. And now just add your lime juice. Just give that a good squeeze in. Put your prawns. So a good portion of prawns in. And now you're just cooking them through. Just let them cook through. And you want oregano. Again, 2 teaspoons. And just shake it all over. And then just mix that all together. While that's going, drain your linguine. Cheers. Big bag of baby spinach. Whole bag. You'll see that very quickly kind of melts down. Just mix that round and your spinach wilts down. Mix that all together, and that is what you should be left with at this point. So now you want your linguine. Anything like me, you'll cook tons of it, so just mix bits in at a time rather than dunking it all in. I'd like to tell you there's a measurement for this, but who on earth knows how to measure spaghetti, linguine, or any kind of pasta for that matter. Keep on a low heat while you're doing this. You want all them prawns, all that spinach mixed in with your pasta. Just keep turning it over. And to serve, pinch it out, bit at a time. Sprinkle of fresh parsley. Quarter lime. Just squeeze that juice all over. Done. Really nice pasta linguine.
You are currently watching Recovery TV. If you want to stay updated with Team Phoenix, please make sure to follow our social media channels.
Contemplating is escalating. A nervous twitch as me escaping. But where do I go? Or what do I do? As me stumped, as I don't have a clue. It's not in my dreams. It won't go away. It's here with me. It's here to stay. So deal with you. I have no choice. Bridling you needs a volcanic voice. I'll stand and stare you in the face until all that's left is an empty space that I can fill with what I choose. Dismissing drugs, dismissing booze. I'm sorry to all for what I've done. My mind was blank, my body was numb. Though again I feel, and my mind is full. Death will come, but that's the sequel.
Hi everyone, my name is Whoosh. Whoosh Raza. I'm the head of HR and L&D at Phoenix Futures. I've pulled together a little introduction video for you this morning to introduce our series of mental health awareness podcasts that we did last week for Mental Health Awareness Week. Wellbeing is such an important part of human resources. It's central to everything that we do to try and support every single individual who works for and across Phoenix Futures, whether that's our volunteers, our sessional staff and our permanent staff. We are all contributing to the Phoenix community right now, and what better time to celebrate and to raise awareness around mental health than through the times that we are going through right now. So I hope you enjoy this podcast, and yes, hopefully have a great day. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the final podcast from this week's Mental Health Awareness Week podcast. You're listening to me. My name is Whoosh Raza, head of HR and L&D, and it's been a really great week. I hear so much feedback coming through from these podcasts, and people really kind of, people having it on in the background whilst they're cooking, people kind of really saying that there's been areas that have really spoken to them. So we're really, really great to end the week, and I am delighted to be joined this morning. Sorry, it's not even this morning, it is this afternoon. So I'm delighted to be joined this afternoon by the lovely Deborah Brannan. Hi, Deborah.
Hi, Whoosh, you okay?
I'm very well, thank you. Deborah is one of our administrative workers who works in our Wirral residential services. I'm really excited to virtually sit down with Deborah and talk all things residential and mental health. So really, Deborah, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for having us.
I would like to have you. So we'll start with the question that I've been asking kind of all of my guests over the course of this week. Why is mental health important to you, and why is mental health important?
It's really important to us because we believe that it increases the chances for really early intervention, and we believe that obviously if we can intervene early enough, that we can, being sort of aware of everybody's mental health needs, that it can help result in a fast recovery. I think by raising awareness, mental health obviously can now be seen as an illness, but I do believe that if we try and intervene early on, it's a way of helping everybody and trying to make them the best version of themselves and really help and show empathy and relate to them to understand what's going on for everybody and to make them also understand that they're not alone.
Yeah, absolutely. Not alone. Really important to feel that at this time. I think loneliness. We kind of touched on that. I think earlier on in the week. It's a scary world right now, and it's okay to not be okay. I think is kind of the key. Um, I guess for me.
Great. Sorry, I think
No,
it's
no,
also
go on,
good.
Deborah. Go on.
Sorry, thank you. I think it's also great for everybody as well. That it helps them with their confidence, and obviously it brings down the walls of any stigma as well. By helping them with sharing experiences, stories, and also it educates other people as well about what mental health really is. And just making sure that we're helping those with mental health needs to understand that they're definitely not alone. And as you said before, it's okay not to be okay.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's really a really great kind of perspective on mental health, as you say, Deborah. I guess what have been we've been talking to various people this week about various different parts of the organisation that they work for, so central functions or housing and community services. But for residential staff and I guess staff at Wirral, how have you been coping? I guess during this time. I mean, in terms of keeping motivated or to have to persevere during these unprecedented times of lockdown and the pandemic. What's that look like, I guess, for Wirral and for residential?
Yeah, to be honest with you, what we've done is we found that obviously by being open and honest with all the residents as to what is going on, making sure that they are, watching the news and they're understanding what's happening out there. Also by us doing, some presentations as well as to what's happening and just making sure that we look after them the best way we can. And we've changed our timetable, so we've still got, structure. We've still got lots of groups happening and everything. And, obviously with nobody's allowed visits and everything. So it's just about making sure that they understand they're not alone and making sure that it's a fun day for them as well as they're still getting all the groups, We've set up Zoom for them, we've set up video calling so that they can still have that interaction with their loved ones. And just making sure really that everybody's pulling together. We've held a barbecue for them, which was on Wednesday, social distancing barbecue. We had bingo, and then we also had volleyball tournaments as well on Wednesday, which was the staff and the residents. Staff-wise, it's about everybody just pulling together and making sure that we try and get through this the best way possible, whilst making sure that we're obviously keeping everybody safe and keeping everybody occupied and and motivated and giving them plenty of structure. So nothing really too much changes whilst they're in here trying to, go to the treatment.
And what I guess that's brilliant in terms of the what we've been doing to support keep them engaged. How have staff been during that? How have you been, I guess, during this period?
We've been really good actually, just making sure that everybody's okay, and we've had to say we've all been pulling together, and if anybody making sure that we're all okay and we're keeping ourselves safe. Obviously, we're going from work to home and making sure that our everything is we're looking after ourselves. Obviously because we want to keep everybody safe in here, but it's more about just really pulling together, doing the best job that we can. And making sure that nothing is left or nobody's left without anything. So it's just about keeping ourselves safe, as I say, and just coming to work and making sure that we're not putting ourselves at risk out there. So when we come back to work, that we're keeping our residents safe as well.
Yeah, and I guess have there been any other specific challenges that you've seen during this time?
To be perfectly honest, no, we've got a great management team, and I do believe that has gone a long way for us. We've all been kept in the loop of what's happening, and they've just obviously changed the structure so that we can do the best job that we can. But I think we've got a great management team who's obviously made this a whole lot easier for ourselves, that we can obviously deliver a really good service to our residents. And I think that's gone a long way. We've been very, very fortunate, and where all the staff team, touch wood, have been really, really good. And, you know, we've got nobody where... We've got a couple of people who've got to work from home because of other things that are happening out there, but the majority of us are all here. We're well looked after and making sure that everything's still going really good.
Oh,
for
that's
us.
great. That's really great to hear. And management support. Apologies. The joys of living on a main road. And the sirens. But yeah, that's great to hear in terms of management support that you mentioned. And it's great, you know, I think that's really important. I think leadership and management in this time is such an important part, because I think you look to leadership and you look to management in times of crisis. To help support and kind of pull the teams together, and it sounds like that's exactly what you've been, you know, experiencing and doing at Wirral. So that's great. I guess it would be great to think about, I guess, the broader challenges in the sense of, I guess, what would you know, what kind of, we talk about self-esteem, and I think you mentioned, you know, self-worth and self-esteem in the sense of how important that is right now, you know, because God, self-esteem is like one of the most, you know, it's difficult on a good day, let alone when you're going through this really, you know, global crisis. And what are your thoughts on self-esteem and self-worth in terms of, you know, I guess, you know, support, how to manage that, and potentially some of the things that we've been doing for our service users, but also the things that we could be applying to ourselves?
Yeah, I think, well, obviously, self-esteem is really important. We found that it, you know, it heavily influences people's choices and decisions. And we've been using it. So what we've done is we've done some different groups throughout the week. So we've done the gender groups. You know, we've had some brain exercises in our gender groups, which obviously can highlight, you know, your mental health, well-being. And we found that that's just important as physical well-being as well. But what we've been doing is we've been doing some positive affirmations. So what we've done is we've obviously had positive affirmations in which the residents will pick those out, and obviously staff have done it as well, and we've given them to, you know, to each other, and picked out certain positive affirmations that we think, you know, fits well with either. We've been giving them to the residents, have given them to staff members, and vice versa. So some of them can be, you know, you have so much potential and so much to give, spread your wings and fly high. I'm so lucky to have you in my life. We've also done groups around like gratitude, and then we've done, as I say, the positive affirmations and everything. We've just basically structured our groups around Mental Health Awareness Week, and made sure that we've worked on self-esteem, self-worth, just to make sure that everybody is obviously being motivated. And I think it's just obviously helping people explore their full potential as well. And that's pretty much what we've done throughout the week. You know, just obviously little acts of kindness. So one of our staff members, Linda, she's obviously baked cakes and brought cakes and popcorn and snacks in, you know, just to say thank you to our residents, because it's so important, you know, with insight to what's going on, to make sure that they're all looking after each other as well, because, you know, that's so important.
Absolutely.
So it's just little acts of kindness like that, really. But as I say, that's what we've been working on, you know, around the behavioural groups and the relapse prevention groups. We've sort of incorporated those types of groups in, you know, into the programme, which has been really, really good, and it's had a really positive impact, you know, to see everybody, you know, happy and looking after each other, which is so important, and it's really, really worked this week. So it's been lovely.
Absolutely. I mean, that sounds absolutely brilliant. And I love the positive affirmations. I think, you know, gratitude is a really important part of self-esteem. I think to feel a sense of purpose, you know, or to feel that you matter. And I feel like anyone listening, you know, one thing that you could take away is that everyone matters, you know, you matter. And positive affirmations, isn't that a great way? Isn't that a great thing to do in terms of sharing that gratitude with others? So that sounds great. It sounds great that you're all kind of staying resilient and supporting each other so well during this time. I guess my final question is, if a member of staff, particularly say a residential member of staff, was listening to this podcast right now, eager to take something away, what would be that one bit of advice, that one key thing that you would you know, kind of share with them in terms of mental health?
I would just say, let your unique and positive energy inspire confidence in others. And then just to always remember, wherever you go, no matter what the weather, just always bring your own sunshine. If you come into work in a positive way, then that's obviously going to inspire others as well. And I just think that's really, really important. If you want the light to come into your life, you need to stand where it's shining, and that's so important for all our residents and staff as well as. So obviously it's like, you know, a domino effect around the residential. Just keep smiling, keep everyone happy.
Oh, what a brilliant, brilliant way to end our podcast. What a lovely, lovely final word. That's absolutely something great. And I should echo those words, you know, you be your own light keeper, you know, shine that light, like you say. Yeah, thank you so much, and that brings us to a close. So thanks so much, Deborah, for taking the time out to have a chat with me this afternoon. It's been a really great way to end the week, and to all of you listening, thank you so much for listening. And thank you for all of my guests that have contributed their time this week. It's been a really important conversation, and I'm so proud to work for an organisation that really champions mental health, and really we do put that at the forefront of everything that we do. So thank you to Deborah, thank you to all of my guests this week. My final thoughts are, please continue to stay safe, and in the spirit of Mental Health Awareness Week this week, be kind. Thank you all. Take care.
Hi guys, welcome back to Shipley Park. Just going to give you a little bit of an info on your potatoes, because most of you will be growing potatoes now, and I'm hoping a lot of them have come up like this. Now, to increase your yield, it's quite important that we look at rowing them up so that we can get more root down and hence more tubers or potato. So just to give you an idea of what we mean by rowing up, it's simply, as you see, everything's in nice little rows. We're simply going to just cover these with a bit more soil. So basically just get your rake and just pull up some soil up onto the top of your potatoes. If you can, swap around. Now, it doesn't matter if you completely cover them, because they will break through themselves. So just keep that going. Do the entire row. Now, as you probably notice here, these were done about a week ago, so these have already been rowed up. In time we may row them up again, which again will give us a bigger yield. Now, for those of you that are in the Great Purple Potato competition, i.e. growing a potato in a bucket, we've got a similar process for your bucket. So here are a couple of hours that we're doing. Now, potatoes are nice and healthy. We've got no rot on the leaves, and we've got no curling leaves, so everything's pretty good. We've got a little bit of insect activity, but nothing to worry about. So quite simply, we've got a mix here of some decent compost and some compost we've made in our compost bins. Quite simply, you're just going to put it in your bucket. Exactly the same process, we're just building up the layers up to the rim. So you've got a nice little mound like so. Now we shall do both as we're here. Also a good opportunity to weed any off.
Showing your thinning patch a bit there, Mark.
Yeah, it's getting there. Thank you, John, for pointing that out. And that's quite simply it. So all we've done there is just raise the soil line, just allow a bit more root down from the potato, and then that will also give us the opportunity to get some more produce out of the potato plant. That's brilliant. Everyone stay safe. Hope to see you soon. Take care for now.
And that's it for this week's broadcast of Recovery TV. Thank you very much for tuning in, and a big thank you to everybody that submitted content. It's always a treat to see how well everyone's doing. If you are interested in submitting to Recovery TV, please do not hesitate to drop us a message on our social media channels or on the following email: Thanks again for tuning in, everyone. We'll see you all next time.